Auratullah.
Okay, so we are going to start now. I've started the recording.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, go ahead.
So, this is our first podcast. Welcome to the show. With me is Akib. He is a enthusiastic cricket follower with aspirations of going into cricket journalism. And today we are halfway through the Pakistan Super League stage. 15 matches out of the 30 have been played. It's a rest day, and each team has played each other. Each of the teams have played 5 of the 10 league matches. And Aqib, how have you enjoyed this year's edition of the Pakistan Super League thus far?
Yeah, I've enjoyed, and there have been a couple of good games, couple of close games, especially towards the second leg of the tournament, especially the one against Lahore Qalandars. Even the Peshawar Zulmi game went a bit close, which is good for the PSL in general. But there has been some disappointing at times. In Sharjah, there was one or two times that it was a tad slow and become difficult for batting. I believe कि approximate करने के लिए ज़्यादा high scoring matches देखने का ज़्यादा मजा आता है rather than low scoring.
Okay. Okay, we'll just stick to English for this podcast if possible,
Yes. Yeah.
with the
Sorry. Sorry.
occasional Urdu phrase. I know it's you're used to speaking
Yeah.
more in Urdu, but
It's habitual.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's been a bit different this year, the Pakistan Super League, because there is no Kumar Sangakkara, there is no Kevin Peterson, there is no Najm Sethi, there is no Misbah-ul Haq leading Islamabad United. It's slightly
Yeah.
different this year. There are lots of changes, and there have been changes in the broadcasting team as well. We have Fakari Alam hosting the pre-match show and the post-match show, and also doing the interviews on the boundary line. I think he's been a welcome addition to the tournament. What do you think?
Fakhar Alam, from what I've heard, that he's a pretty renowned guy in the media industry. I've heard his name since a pretty long time, even when I was young, and I heard that he used to do a show on Geo Super, etc. And also, rather than Fakhar Alam, they've also added Aaron Holland and even Alan Wilkins doing the interviewing on the ground. Even Bazid Khan, that's a
Yes.
massive change. Otherwise, before there used to be one presenter. And Fahar Alam is actually not doing daily. It's like they split it 2 days him, 2 days Zainab. But he's doing a good job though.
I am pleased to
It's
see
good to have a bit of change.
I am pleased to see Ahmed Sohail part of the broadcast team.
Yeah, I love his way of commentary, the way he speaks with an articulate and a clever manner, basically.
Yes.
And plus, the effective is that because he's played the game himself, so he can touch those technical aspects. But one thing I've noticed, if you've noticed, Abdullah, don't you think that he's a tad biased towards Lahore at times?
No, no, I don't think so. I think he's a very honest
People claim
observer of the game.
I think he said people hate or dislike him one thing that he did say some controversial comments during the Champions Trophy once.
No, he has been misunderstood completely. What he was
Yeah.
saying was not. It's been misinterpreted. What he was saying, misunderstood.
And and
He was
I
saying
used to I miss Ahmed Sir quite a lot. He used to be a regular feature on the PTV Parks on Television Sports with
yes.
Doc Nias
Let me
6 years ago.
let me explain what he was trying to say during that tournament that Pakistan won. It's been misunderstood and over exaggerated and blown out of proportion. What he was trying to say,
Yeah.
he wasn't
Yeah.
saying anything wrong. He was just saying that the wickets suited Pakistan, and that is true. You cannot deny that the wickets that were
That's true.
prepared in that tournament suited Pakistan, and that helped their cause in getting to the final.
No, no.
They played
That's true.
England on a used pitch at Cardiff. We need to understand that. That is what he was saying. What he was
Mm.
saying was that if Pakistan played on good, true, typical one-day wickets, they wouldn't have made it through. Wickets where you need power hitters and lots of aggressive players and a strong batting
Okay.
lineup all the way down, plenty of depth in the batting. On wickets where
You
it
mean
suited Pakistan's game, slow surfaces where reverse swing, spin, and old-fashioned one-day batting was required. That suited Pakistan. That is what he was saying. It was misunderstood and misconstrued. He was saying Pakistan got lucky because of the surfaces they were playing on.
uh,
He
I
wasn't.
believe that yeah.
He-
I think by true you mean like good batting surfaces, the flat decks, basically,
Yes,
like the Nautica one, where they got blasted for 444.
yes, absolutely correct. Uh, where it's where a team with the bigger hitters and the more aggressive batsmen thrive. You know,
Yeah,
wickets where slow batsmen get exposed, and
yeah, I believe that is why maybe people think that Pakistan has a chance at the World Cup because if they get similar conditions with the reverse swing, their bowlers become lethal.
yes,
That
but
becomes a good start.
so do you understand now why what Ahmed Sohail was saying?
Yeah, yeah, I've
Yeah,
noticed myself and that the Cardiff wicket was slowish. I have one question. What's the difference between a used and a drop-in pitch?
uh, a used pitch is basically Pakistan. They played on the same wicket in the semi-final that they played in the match against Sri Lanka 2 days previously. You see, in that
Yeah,
semi-final, they had a big advantage.
I think that was in Cardiff as well,
Yes,
Sri
yes,
Lanka game.
yes. So they played on exactly the same wicket that they had already played on.
And I think Oval is considered as a good batting style. Oval
Yes, yes.
Pakistan has
So,
generally
but
done well.
getting to your point, drop-in pitches are very, very flat. You see them in Australia a lot. They're brought
Yeah,
in. They often employ them on grounds where other sports are played, like Australian League football, Australian
yeah,
rules football in Australia. At the MCG,
yeah.
they use the drop-in pitches quite a fair bit.
They are manufactured in factories, I believe, and they use cranes to drop, basically something like that.
Hmm.
Similar to that's similar to not like natural pitches.
Now, um, there's going to be changes in the Pakistan Super League this year because matches will be played in Abu Dhabi, the UAE capital, for the first time, and also
Yeah,
there will be 8 matches in Pakistan this time.
yeah,
In
yeah, yeah.
and the interesting thing is that we will actually see Lahore play in Lahore, and we will see Karachi play in Karachi. So
Which
it's
is a
the
good.
first which has never happened before because they haven't managed to
Eesh.
qualify for the games in their home
Yeah,
city. So
yeah.
this year, there's
Kara-
added excitement for that factor that we will actually see a team play in their home city.
Yeah, that will be exciting. Imagine if Karachi and Lahore meet in the final in Karachi. That would be a massive game, basically. And especially Karachi, Lahore is basically treated like India, Pakistan. Karachi played last time in Lahore, that semi-final, I believe, against which they lost basically against Peshawar, if I'm not wrong. So they played last time, and
You're
yeah,
right.
you're right that it's a good chance. Abu Dhabi, yes, Abu Dhabi. I believe that Abu Dhabi, the wicket tends to be a tad slower than Dubai. Basically, you might not see as high scoring games as we see in China. That could be a factor. From what I've seen, experience. But it's good that the PSL is expanding, and
Yeah, I
hopefully,
have a problem. Don't you think that 34 matches for a T20 tournament is a bit long? I know you have 60 matches in the IPL, but you got to realize that in
it's long.
IPL, they're actually playing in the cities where the teams are involved. Like if Mumbai play Rajasthan, they'll play once in Mumbai, once in Rajasthan. But when you're playing on neutral venue, you know it's
Yeah,
different. I think
yeah,
I understand this concept of home and away when you're actually playing matches in those cities where the teams are
yeah,
involved.
yeah.
But on neutral territory, like we have Multan playing Islamabad tomorrow in Dubai.
Wow,
Am
yeah.
I right?
Yeah,
Multan.
I need to check the schedules
Yes,
again.
I
Yeah, I think
believe.
it's Multan against Islamabad.
Yes,
Yes,
they've
yes,
already played in Dubai and they're playing in Dubai again. So you see,
yeah,
there's not that. It seems long now this tournament because you're playing lots of matches. You're playing each team twice,
yeah,
often on neutral venues. It
yeah.
doesn't
No,
quite
but
work out.
and
I prefer a shorter
home,
tournament. For a
yeah,
franchise T20 tournament, I prefer them to be short and sharp.
yeah, yeah,
I prefer play each other once and then get on to the business end of the tournament. 18 matches, not
yeah,
34 matches.
yeah. It's your
I
opinion,
beg your
basically.
pardon, 18 matches?
I
Yeah.
believe that it does add a fun element because people definitely PSL is entertainment for us, and we tend to enjoy the games a lot. And I think you have a point. I believe that I think once the PSL fully comes to Pakistan, I think then it's should be considered more matches basically once it expands. But
And
I believe there is a benefit of more matches, 34 matches like Pakistan has a series. So it gives these players more chance to give a exposure, expose themselves, basically, showcase their talent on the national stage. And it makes it entertaining, I believe.
Which players have caught your eye? For me, I am impressed by Harris Rauf's pace and also
Yeah,
because he's never played any professional cricket prior to the Pakistan Super League. He's never played a
yeah,
first class match or a list A match or a
yeah.
regional T20
I've
match.
heard he's quick.
He's
He's
been
he's
he's
good. He's
he's
good.
been plucked out of
Oh,
nowhere. He's come through the development program that the Lahore Qalandars have in place, and he's impressed
mhm,
with his speed and his enthusiasm. And he comes across as
yeah,
the type of bowler who wants the ball in pressure situations and wants to
yeah.
deliver for his captain and his team.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's known to be a good death bowler as well. I've heard he did well in the Abu Dhabi League. And other than Haris Rauf, I believe some obvious names that people would say is if
Okay,
you look
yeah.
at the batting, basically the
Let
batsmen.
me butt in here. Umar Akmal, does he stand a
Yeah,
chance of getting into the World Cup squad given his
I believe.
differences with Mickey
Yeah,
Arthur? Because if you remember, they haven't been on the best of terms, and
yeah,
and Mickey Arthur and Umar Akmal has spoken out against Mickey Arthur for the way he's treated him in the
uh,
past. Do you think that will be a factor that will prevent Umar Akmal from getting back into the team? The way he
I
spoke
think it.
against Mickey Arthur.
Firstly, if you see, Makiata has had issue with Sohail Khan as well, and now they're playing in the same franchise. I believe that Umar Akmal has a chance for coming back in the team, especially in the T20s. I still believe he's a better power hitting option
No.
than Asif Ali, and he keeps performing. I believe the
But
selection should be on the merit system, and he's performing in front of him. Definitely,
but
there is a chance that he could impress the coach and the captain.
but Umar Akmal doesn't want to be playing T20s. He wants to be playing 50 over format.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe also playing under Sarfaraz's leadership, considering Sarfaraz is the captain, increases his chances of coming in the national team because also we've known that the captain does have a say in the selection. So Sarfaraz can get him in the team like he did with Mohammad Hafiz in test matches.
If you're going to select Muhammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik in the team, you might as well give Umar Akmal a go.
Yeah, easily there are spots for the guy, especially in the T20s especially. You need someone who's a power hitting option basically who can get you those quick runs.
But no
Maybe
one's
that
really
finish.
interested in international T20 at this point in time.
Yeah.
The whole
No,
focus is on the 50 over format.
yeah, it's important that he needs to keep this consistency and his attitude. And I read someone's post as well on Twitter, and I think it's right that I think people said that basically since his mother passed away, there is a change in his attitude, and he looks more serious and committed towards his game. Believe that is a good sign as well. And I
He's
think if he keeps
he's
performing,
he's hitting the ball extremely well. He's looking $1 million. He's got the bit between his teeth. I think he's really keen to be part of Pakistan's World Cup squad
for sure, and why not? He can still be if he keeps performing. He's very young still, and he's a long career. And I'm shocked that people are writing him off so soon. And
because
if he fixes attitude, he can be a good hitting option in the World Cup.
you need
And
an X factor. You
Scott's
need an X factor
little,
player in the middle order.
I believe he's. People call him a tulla, which is I believe wrong, considering his technique is pretty good, and he can still play some shots, which normally a regular batsman can't.
And I
Basically,
think the modern
same
fif-
as Babar.
the modern
Babar,
50 over game suits him, where you need fast scoring, big scoring
yeah,
players, fast scoring, quick scoring players. Attacking
yeah.
batsmen.
Yeah, I'm actually worried. World Cup is coming out. If you're talking about the World Cup, there are players getting injured as well, and I'm especially worried that Babar Azam has been getting out of form recently. Basically, for the Karachi Kings, he's not performed in the last few games. That could be a worry for the next series coming up because he is also one of our main batsmen. That is a big worry too.
No, I don't think there are any concerns with Babar Azam. I thought he was utterly
I think he,
magnificent throughout the South African tour. He timed the ball so well. He found the gaps regularly. He made noticeable contributions,
yeah, no
and
doubt. He needed a big score though. But I also believe that something went in his favor. That two matches he was, I believe, unlucky. He got run out basically, and I think next match was basically a pretty good catch.
And
But even for the Karachi, he's
one
like the
thing I think will
backbone.
go in favor of Umar Akmal is that Wasim Khan is now the managing director of Pakistan Cricket, and
Yeah,
Wasim Khan was the chief executive of Leicestershire County Cricket Club, where Umar Akmal was signed as an overseas player. So he has good relations with Leicestershire County Cricket Club and Wasim Khan. Umar Akmal, that is.
yeah.
So do you think that could come into play?
What
But but
can
you
I can
need
we can? Can you ask the question again,
Yes,
please?
so Wasim Khan, he knows Umar Akmal well through their time at Leicestershire.
Yeah, yeah, that could play a role basically because they know each other, and I believe more than the managing director, it's basically he needs to impress the selectors. And I've heard one post from, I'm not sure you know that guy of Rosage. They're saying that in the Australia team, this Omar Akmal is under consideration, and they might give even Sarfraz a rest basically. And I've heard that he has a chance of coming back to the side from people.
I think he's playing the best he's ever played,
Yeah,
and
he's in the form of his life. And I hope that he carries it if he gets a chance in the national team, not just to impress the selectors and then he becomes complacent.
but I think he's a lot younger than Hafiz and Malik,
Yeah,
obviously, and he's a
yeah.
better batsman than both of them.
He's experienced in the national cricket. He has played a
He's
handful of
he's a
one
be,
days,
he's a
T20s.
be, he's a better player than Hafiz and Malik, and he's a more of an impact player than both of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think when he played ODI cricket between 2011 and 2015, it was a different game. It was a low scoring game. It required more old fashioned, responsible batting at times. But in the modern game, where it's about power and explosiveness and innovation and, you know,
yeah,
fast,
yeah. He's a good
fast
player.
scoring,
He can be a
big scoring
finisher.
games, fast
Yeah,
scoring, big scoring games, he's more suited towards the modern one day game because it's become more attacking for batting on good true batting services. At
yeah,
number 4 or 5, it's hard to see how Pakistan have any better options at the moment as far as the X factor player is concerned in that middle order.
true, 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 true.
And he's an outstanding fielder.
No,
I
yeah,
heard Brad
he's
Hogg.
really good.
I heard Brad Hogg in the studio yesterday raised some concerns about his fielding, which surprised me.
He's been known to be a very good fielder. He's shown at
Yes,
that even in the
yes.
Pakistan side.
Brad Hogg was saying to play for Pakistan, he needs to improve his fielding because he noticed him have 1 or 2 fumbles in the field.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't judge basically by that. Even there was fielders playing at the Pakistan team. Remember, you even Mahmulak is a horrible fielder.
Yes. Um, Alan Wilkins also made the point that Umar Akmal can also play the role of a makeshift wicketkeeper, a reserve wicketkeeper in the squad. So
I don't think they should make him wicketkeeper again because
yes, but you
he
need a
can
reserve
struggle. I think.
wicketkeeper. No, no, he was a good wicketkeeper in my view. He had good reflexes, and he made the best use of his talents. And he can play the role of a deputy wicketkeeper, like a reserve wicketkeeper in the squad.
Yeah, because Rizwan has not impressed me a bit, and I think yeah, Marakmal if he performs, he can be.
I am interested to see if Shane Watson this time goes to Pakistan or not.
I remember last time he said that he will come, and then suddenly I think it's because of his wife that he's decided not to come. He refused towards the end, which was pretty shocked because they were pretty confident they'll get him on board. That is what has hurt Quetta in the first 2 3 seasons, is that at the crunch moments that the players the players refuse to come, and then it affects the balance of the team as
What
well.
is your indication that you are getting this time? Is he going to come this time or not? Because
I
it's
think he
not far
should
away
come
now.
because considering
I know.
the success of the PSL in the last 2 seasons, and seeing that the greatest modern day player in this generation, AB de Villiers, is coming, I think that should basically give him confidence that he can, he should. If Russo comes, came, de Villiers came,
Yes,
so why can't he come
but
basically?
it's not
And
far
even
away.
Hawkins came.
It's not far away now. It's only 2 weeks till the it's only a little over 2 weeks till the matches start in Pakistan. Do you think he's
And we have
coming?
few.
Do you think he's coming based on your the information you have, based on your impression? Is Shane Watson
I'm
coming?
not.
Yes or
I've
no?
not heard much news about him coming, but I think he has definitely. There is a chance that he will. Hopefully, he will. Maybe Richards could also convince him. Viv Richards in the dugout.
No,
Safraz.
Viv Richards was there last year as well, and Shane Watson did not travel.
Yeah, I really was pretty disappointed. I heard, but I think there is a chance that he could come this year. I have a belief because of the PSL success and so many players coming. So I think there is a chance he will. He should, I believe. Even last year he was keen. I believe his wife played a factor in not coming.
The AB de Villiers situation is slightly different because AB de Villiers has actually played international cricket in Pakistan when South
Yeah,
Africa toured in 2007. So
yeah.
he's experienced what it's like to play in Pakistan.
I believe, yeah, it's a good decision. He's coming. Also, if you look, he can get confidence seeing that the World 11 tours
Yes,
the 2017.
and
Five, six.
a lot of South African teammates were in that team. The likes of Faf du Plessis,
Yeah,
David
yeah.
Miller, Imran Tahir,
Exactly.
Morne
Yeah.
Morkel. Have
He
I met?
might need to go to Karachi as well if his team qualifies. He might even need to go to Karachi
I
then.
I don't believe he's available for the for the closing stages of the tournament, as far as I'm aware.
I think ninth, 10th, he's coming. Look, it depends on the situation, but I believe if his team manages to reach the final,
Yeah, I think he's
then
got.
definitely he will come.
I think he'll be looking for some away time ahead of the IPL. I don't think he's
I
there for
believe
the whole
because Karachi
tournament.
and Lahore considered safer places in
I
Pakistan.
no no
That is
I
it.
don't think
I think,
it's not security issues. I think his contract he's only contracted for a certain period of time. I don't think he's going to play the
yeah,
full tournament.
let's see. It's his decision.
He's
Luckily, he's
definitely
not injured again.
he will play
He's
he
fit.
will play the league games that are going to be in Pakistan. But I'm not, as far as I'm aware, he's
Sure.
not there for the playoffs. He's not going to stay
Let's
in
see. Then
Pakistan for the
it'll
playoffs.
be a big, big dent for Lahore if he refuses to play.
No, no, it's not.
Basically.
It's not that he refuses to play. It's his prior agreement is he will come to Pakistan, but not for the playoffs, for the league games, because
Yeah,
Lahore play a couple of the final league games in Lahore. He's available for those on the 9th and
yeah,
10th.
yeah. Two games actually: Lahore, Islamabad, and Lahore, Multan.
Should
So
Mickey Arthur be coach of the Karachi Kings? Because you will not see Ravi Shastri coach Kings 11 Punjab or Kolkata Knight Riders or Delhi Delhi Daredevils or Delhi Capital now, I think it's called.
yeah,
Or
that depends.
Royal
I don't think
Challengers
there's much
Bangalore.
issue with this. I
Is
don't think there is much issue with this. Basically, it could help in the Pakistani selection. It could fight more
then
going
why is
forward.
Ravi Shastri not allowed to coach in the IPL?
Maybe different rules, regulations. Maybe no one wanted to have him on board, I believe. And maybe they want more local coaches. Maybe local. I think that even Tom Moody, they hired Tom Moody in that setup. He was in Sunrisers, so
I wonder if Danny Morrison will come to Pakistan this time because at the moment he has not commentated in a PSL final yet. In season 1 he was doing the MCL, if you remember. In
yeah.
season
That
2 in
pretty
se-
ordinary league. He wanted to come in the last season. I
No, no,
believe his
no.
commitments made him
See,
unavailable.
in season 2 he refused to travel to Lahore for the final. In season
And
3
Wilkins did not come either.
In season 3 he did not come because
Family commitments.
his wife was celebrating a birthday, an important 50th birthday. So season 4 he has visited Lahore for for the Sri Lanka game, if you remember.
Yeah,
And
I
he
think
did
Wilkins
visit,
came too. Majid Khan showed them around.
yes, and he also has visited Lahore for some Lahore Calendars program. Briefly he was in
Yeah,
Lahore, yeah. So he has visited Lahore. I think he will visit Lahore, but he will not go to Karachi because the last time he went to Karachi. I think there was an incident on a New Zealand tour, 2002. It was a blast, and the series was cancelled after one Test match.
look. I have to add something. If the other crew will come, Wilkins and those guys, I think he'll get the confidence back.
No, I think he'll be there for maybe for the Lahore games, maybe not for the Karachi games.
Depends. I believe the situation allows him. I'm for sure he'll come, and he does add that entertainment factor with the way he
Yeah.
analyzes. He's pretty funny.
No,
Comedy,
I'll be
basically.
surprised if he does the whole tournament. I think he's going to go. He'll maybe go to Lahore for 2 or 3 games and then fly
Yeah,
back. I can't
yeah.
imagine him doing going to Lahore and then going to Karachi and staying in
It's
Pakistan
his
for 10
personal
days.
choice. It's his personal choice. I believe we even had Mickey Arthur commenting, racing them basically. It's his personal choice, I believe.
No, but Danny Morrison has had some history in Pakistan that he had a close scare in
Yeah.
2002 when he was
I
doing
think
some
that.
commentary.
Yeah. I think that too got cancelled, I believe.
Yes, Inzamam got 300 in the first Test match and the second Test match did not get played.
My God. Yeah, it same happened during the Sri Lanka tour as well.
I have a theory on this, on the security situation in Pakistan. I would like to see if you agree or disagree with me. We need to remember that the Sri Lankan attack happened during a test match,
Yeah,
not a one-day match. In test
yeah,
matches played in Pakistan, there is hardly any crowd at all. It is played in
yeah,
front of empty stadium, empty seats.
yeah,
So
yeah,
naturally, when there is not that much interest and crowd, the security won't be as tight.
yeah. And actually, like
Don't
the
you think?
PSL
Don't
2
don't you
final,
think
why it
I'm?
was so safe is because even your army came involved in
So
it.
do you think I've got a point here that it happened during a test match when there's not as much interest and there's not as much crowd, and therefore the attack that might have been a contributing factor for why the attack was successful as far as the terrorists were concerned.
Yeah, that could be a reason as well, I believe.
Don't you
And
think how come no one has ever mentioned this?
no one has probably thought much about it,
Yeah,
basically. Even it's
that
been
is
a long time.
that is my theory that it happened during a test
Uh,
match. If it
Test match also, there are some crowds come, but basically, I think Sri Lanka, maybe if it was an India Pakistan test
no,
match,
no,
then
even
large crowds.
even India Pakistan test match in Pakistan, if you remember the 2004 series, there wasn't that much crowd.
Six, I believe there was a bit. Yeah, not that crazy level crowd.
Yes. So naturally, when there's less crowd,
There's security.
this
Yeah,
there's less security. That's my
yeah,
theory.
that's a point. That's a point. Yes.
I th- because in the one day series, when there was more security, everything went reasonably fine.
Yeah, yeah. And if you nothing could happen. Basically, once your army steps in, nothing could happen. Basically, no one can bother.
I've got high hopes from Wasim Khan in convincing some international teams to visit Pakistan. I
Wasim
believe
Khan, Imran Ahmad Khan.
no, Wasim Khan, because I
Yeah.
believe he's a very easy. One of his roles is going to be to help bring international cricket back to
Yeah.
Pakistan. He comes
Yes,
across as
yes.
an articulate person who's willing to go the extra mile to convince these
Yeah.
boards, and I think there is a realistic possibility that in 2022, November 2022, when England tour, when England play their next away series against Pakistan as part of the World Test Championship, the second edition of the World Test Championship,
Yeah.
um, there is a realistic chance that England could play a Test match in Pakistan in 2022. I think that should be the goal. E-
That can
England's
happen. Plus,
England's next away series against Pakistan, there is a chance that there could be a Test match in Pakistan. I
inshallah,
believe,
hopefully, I'm
and
hopeful
I
if
think
Wasim Khan is in tenure that time. And that could be a big step as well. Firstly, if try to get this league, if PSL comes in Pakistan and could slowly pull crowds and people to come back, once the PSL comes in Pakistan fully, somehow.
I've recently been hearing some comments from Abdul Qadir on television, and he's been making some unpleasant remarks about Wasim Khan.
Abdul Qadir hates everyone. I don't know why. I don't like this kind of analysis. Abdul Qadir hates Mickey Arthur as well a lot, from what I've seen. And I believe,
I don't think it's necessary to make these comments. Wasim Khan is a
yeah,
highly qualified individual, a very articulate and
yeah,
intellectual individual, and
that's the thing that these old cricketers don't understand, basically.
he's got a wealth of experience in administration.
Yeah. Look, I have to add something. I believe they want कि हर बंदा वो है who जिसको cricket खुद खेलेगी. Whoever has played
He
cricket,
has played
he
professional
will
cricket.
admit it.
He has played professional cricket. He's played county cricket.
Yeah,
He
that's what
was
Abdul Qadir is
he's
not able to understand.
Wasim Khan has played a first class match against Wasim Akram. You know,
Wow. So he has played the game. And you need an administrator, and they don't need to have played cricket fully. Even Ahsan Mani has not played cricket. But
he's
he's a
good.
pretty experienced
Wasim
administrator.
Khan has been awarded an MBE for his services to cricket.
What's an MBB?
It's like just below a knighthood.
Yeah.
Like he's been recognized by the Queen for his achievements,
Yeah, he seems like a pretty qualified and educated individual
and
from what I've seen.
He's played a
Also,
big
too,
part.
Thomas.
He's played a big part with the chance to find a
Yeah,
chance to shine
right.
foundation in England, which has
Yeah,
aimed at increasing and participation of cricket in
yeah,
state schools, encouraging and
yeah.
increasing participation of cricket in state schools. That was his legacy um,
Good.
when he was in England, with chance to
That's
shine.
a good. That's a good step. Also, I believe two individuals, Wasim Khan and then Sami Barney in media industry is also the PCB is also a pretty good
Yes,
addition, pretty
these were
experienced.
two well qualified and impressive appointments from Isan Mani.
Yeah, Sami as a media manager, that's a good thing that they're pretty bringing qualified. And Salmani himself was a pretty qualified individual, considered as one of the best ICC presidents ever, basically. And
Um,
compared to me, Sethi, who was considered as somewhat corrupt, pretty corrupt.
Najam Sethi was a good chairman, I think, and he did very well.
Yeah, he had some later problems like that case with India, then corruption. Let's not get political here. That's a different topic.
Yes, I think it's best if we stick to the cricket.
35 पंचर पे आ जाएगी बात हाँ
No,
चलो
no, no. I think if we look purely on what Najam Sethi did during his tenure, he was a very successful chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board, and
yeah
before he was chairman, chairman of the Pakistan Super League as well.
yeah
And I think it was a lot.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie, one thing I agree with IK PSL 2 final player वाकई अच्छे नहीं आए थे उसमें that was a fact.
I disagree. I think Marlon Samuels is a very good player.
I want to add a point. I think PSL 2 final also pretty low quality, I believe.
No, no, Marlon Samuels is a very good player.
The
David Milan's
wicket,
a very
the
good player.
wicket,
Darren
even
Sammy's a very good
the
player.
wicket was the wicket. Firstly, was awful to
No, no,
bat,
I,
and
I
then
want to I
basically
want to pick you up on
players
a point you're
that
saying.
high quality. Yes, I believe Sammy and Samuels were only good quality players. I believe too. That left
Even
players.
that the Quetta wicket key. No,
Quetta
no,
had
no.
horrible
They
players.
had
Quetta had
more
horrible
even
players. I
Mike.
believe.
He's got a T20 international 100 for
Yeah.
South Africa.
PSL 2 final was actually the most boring finals of all three. Basically, it was too
No, no. I
one-sided.
think even Quetta had some the overseas players they got. They had they were pretty good players as well.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't necessarily big names, but they were good players.
yeah, yeah. And actually, something strange. Quetta and Peshawar Zalmi, if you notice, all three seasons, the knockout results was basically similar, 1 run difference, basically. It's I believe that these two, whenever these two teams meet, it's always some sort of an intense rivalry.
I believe
Quetta
that
Peshawar.
uh,
I believe Quetta and Peshawar is more exciting than Karachi Lahore at times.
we know Graham Smith is going back. He will not be part of the Pakistan Super League.
Goen, Graham Smith, and then Zainab shared that Haros is also back. Matthew Hayden, and now Jaunty
Yes,
Rhodes.
of course,
He
Matthew
was
Hayden.
he was. I saw Jaunty Rhodes chilling in Dubai today. Yeah,
Of
so
course,
new faces to the.
Matthew Hayden was only there for the first week because he had prior
No
commitments.
Michael, no Michael Slater and Damon Fleming either, who were pretty good with the mic last time.
Yes, Michael Slater is one of my favorite commentators, but
Yeah,
he works for Channel 7 in Australia. He does
yeah,
the test matches in Australia and the Big Bash, and is
can I?
a
Yeah,
yes, and there's
yeah, yeah,
IPL coming, then there's World Cup, then there's Ashes. So,
yeah,
maybe he wanted to give the PSL a miss this year. And maybe
yeah.
it was just a one off because he doesn't usually do a lot of commentary outside of Australia. Last year was an
Yeah.
exception.
He enjoyed it a lot as well.
Yes,
PSL.
but maybe it was a one off. Maybe it was a one off because
Yeah,
generally he only does commentary in Australia and occasionally outside if it's an ICC event or an Ashes
yeah,
series.
yeah. Yeah. I wanted to add also one thing. Imagine the likes of maybe Tony Craig, Bill Lawry commenting in PSL would have been epic, seriously.
Yes, well, both, as we know, both.
Chappell, and really, Chappell could have been invited basically. Actually, Chappell had made some harsh comments on Pakistan, and then he suddenly disappeared. Then he came on PDU Sports, but Chappell could have been a good option in the commentary box
No, no,
if he had
I
invited.
don't think Chappell is anti Pakistani at all. He's visited regularly. He did the nine.
Actually, yeah, he did give some positive views when he came in the game on air studio during the
No, no,
Champions Trophy.
even before that, 2004 when India played Pakistan in Pakistan, he was part of the commentary team. In 1996 in the World Cup final, he did the presentation ceremony in Pakistan in Lahore,
Yeah, yeah, that
and
was old.
when there was the floods in Pakistan in 2010,
Hmm.
he was encouraging people on Australian news to donate to Pakistan.
It's kind.
He's not anti-Pakistani at all.
Yeah, just one statement. People tend to exaggerate stuff, my friend. We all
He,
know that.
no, no, he has a habit of over exaggerating or over criticizing,
Yeah,
like
he's aggressive. I believe
over
he's
praising.
very straightforward. I believe aggressive.
He said Pakistan should improve before the next tour, otherwise they should stop them. But
Yeah, but if you look at
it's
even his own team has been horrible away
it's
from home
slightly different.
conditions.
It's slightly different because playing on Boxing Day and New Year in Australia, it's a big occasion. It's not like playing
Yeah,
in the UAE in front of empty crowds.
yeah.
There's a commercial aspect to playing cricket in Australia,
I, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If
and
you're talking about UAE, UAE Test matches are by far the most boring
yes, and
matches ever.
the quality of Test cricket played in Australia is considered higher than most other places in the world. So you've also got to
Yeah,
factor this in. But still,
Australia and England, both.
but still,
Australia.
what annoyed me about the comment that he made was that he made it at a time when Pakistan had just recently been the number one ranked Test team.
Yeah, and he should see his own team basically
No,
how they
and
play poorly aside all.
you have to remember, who is the only overseas team to win a World Cup in Australia?
Was the only overseas team to win a World Cup.
In Australia,
Ah, Pakistan.
of course. There've only been two World
Yeah,
Cups in Australia. One has been won by the
yeah,
home team, and the other has been won by
yeah.
Pakistan.
Of
So
course,
he,
Pakistan.
so
Yes,
you can't say that Pakistan have a good reputation in Australia if you look at it from this sense.
Imran Khan is well respected in Australia. Role. Yeah,
Now we must, as I always say, IPL, PSL, BPL, BBL, CPL, T10 is all good, but proper cricket
real
is
cricket.
Test cricket. Proper cricket is Test cricket, and
Yeah, that's
we cannot go through this podcast without congratulating Sri Lanka on their magnificent achievement to turn over South
what.
Africa in South Africa. It's an
I see you
astonishing
clap and
achievement.
I have to clap for this. Yes,
It's an astonishing achievement.
mashallah. Yes, this is a big win, and happy to see
Now,
them do
I'm going
well.
to say something big here. I'm going to say
I've,
something big here.
yeah,
Sri Lanka beating South Africa in South Africa is bigger than India beating Australia in Australia, especially against the current Australian team.
yeah. Considering they were minnows, I have one question. You do you think that the pitches Pakistan India played, someone asked me, were harder than the ones which Sri Lanka got in Durban and Elizabeth, Port Elizabeth,
Um,
considering the boundaries? I believe you can. I'll tell you one question thing before you can answer is Port Elizabeth and Durban are the places where Pakistan has won two test matches. Only places. Is that a fact as well? In Sri Lanka as well.
so, no, I don't think we can take anything away from Sri Lanka based on. This always happens when a team wins. You have to compare it to another series.
Yeah. And this,
No team has
uh,
beaten South Africa in South Africa before, as far as the subcontinent is concerned.
yeah,
Sri Lanka, the first team to do it, and they thoroughly
yeah,
deserve their achievement. They've been in the
yeah,
doldrums. They've had such a difficult, um, period of time as far as results concerned.
uh,
They've been playing a lot
yeah,
of tough cricket. New Zealand tour, followed
yeah.
by Australia tour, followed by South Africa tour. It's
I
toughened
saw
them
New
up.
Zealand
It's
actually.
toughened them up.
They did well in New Zealand. They did put some resistance in New Zealand as well.
Yes, but they lost all
I
three
believe
formats.
I believe more bigger victory was the first test one. I believe first test was a bit of a South Africa choke plus a Sri Lanka
Yes.
brilliance. And second test match, I did not expect that